I think it was important to shake President Trump's hand.
Well, of course, that's the president. You don't have to agree with everything. You can be in a different party. I think that's just basic respect and courtesy. Whether it's for the office or whether it's just kind of, I can't think we can get to the place where, the State of the Union can't turn into like the Springer Show.
Do you think your colleagues, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, conducted themselves the right way by that metric?
I'm saying I just disagree with that. It's not my, I'm not going to criticize it, but I'm going to say that's just not something I choose. And I think I walked around and I realized that half my colleagues were gone. And now if they want to boycott it, that's their choice. But I think overall, I don't see that coming back to, I remember back in 2009 when, I forget his name, Joe Wilson, yelled. That was really provocative and shocking to people. And that had bipartisan, they condemned that. And now here it's just part of the now where it's just kind of like, here it is.
So great point, guys. John Soto here, Sotocast. Fetterman, obviously he's in a state where he needs to play this game. Let's be real. A lot of people like to say that he has this come to fruition, thing. No, it's the state that he's in. It's who he's representing. He has to toe this line. He does it very well considering that he can barely speak. But yeah, this is why. But this is the thing, right? In the state that he's in, there is that normal social liberal, but not insane progressive mentality. That's where he is. That's that north, that northeastern kind of thing, and it's refreshing. It's just it's like a common sense kind of thing. It's not and let's hear what else he has to say.
I think something's lost when if that becomes like the new normal.
Do you think President Trump is responsible for that new normal?
I think we're all part of it too, and I do think we have to find a way. If we can be in the same room, we can disagree on these things. You don't have to sign off on everything. You don't have to agree with everything. And now, if I hear something that I agree with or I like that, hey, I'm going to stand up and clap for those things. And I think, and if someone's angry that I shook the president's hand as he walked in, that's I think that's on them. And I think some of the people that were angry that I did that, they didn't really have a problem when Mandami visited with the White House too. So like if we refuse to talk to the other side, that's the only one that really loses, that's America.
Some people were surprised you wore a suit and tie.
I'm not sure why that's news. Yes, I do. I do dress like a slob, but for me, I'm gonna respect the event. Respect that's the dress code, of course. So for me, it was an opportunity to hear these things, and I think there was enough there that I could say, hey, I want to acknowledge that I think that's a good thing.
You obviously have spoken with President Trump. You've met with him in the past. What was the last time you spoke to him privately?
No, it's just one of the things that was perhaps might make unique amongst the Democrats. I supported the Iranian strike last year, and I think every single senator in this agrees that we can never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. And if we all agree with that, I think harsh language won't be the solution. And now,
just so that we're clear here, she asked him a very direct, pointed question. Obviously, he's suffering some massive cognitive issues. She said, when was the last time you met with the president? And it seems like he just has a massive issue with spoken language, because whatever, like what she said to him did not register. It's apparent, right? Can we all agree on that? He's staying on, whatever. I don't know how his brain is working right now. I think when he did the debate with Oz, there was something where they said that he had to be able to read the questions. That was part of the debate tactic. So it seems like maybe his auditory connection to his brain is somewhat off. So, he probably sat there throughout the entire State of the Union and just has no idea. It was just, I guarantee you, he probably just focused in on one person and was like, this guy, he's kind of moderate, whatever. When he stands up and claps, and then I'll stand up. I'd be interested to see. But yeah, obviously, he's not all there. He's not all there. So for for the right to hook their wagon to this guy as somebody who's like, yeah, he's not a crazy leftist, great, but he's got issues, guys. He's got issues.
Now we've all discovered that a treaty or those kind of negotiations were unsuccessful. So the one thing that really did matter, and I think was impactful, was those kinetic kinds of strikes. And now here we are, might be again, where now they have another issue in that those missiles that they have, and now China is selling those hypersonic missiles there. That's outrageous. That's effectively the Chinese are selling that technology that would be aimed right at American ships, and I'll call and hold them accountable for that.
So would you urge President Trump to strike Iran in the interest of regime change there?
Well, I do think if you can, I mean, Iran absolutely wants to acquire a nuclear bomb, and Iran has done, they built up Hamas and Hezbollah and Houthis.
He reminds me of a character from Idiocracy. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, he's a character from Idiocracy. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what he is. And whatever. I don't really care that if that pisses people off.
So clearly, and now Iran executed tens of thousands of their young people, and now the brutality for that. So Iran and that regime, that the war is never about the Iran.
By the way, if you haven't watched Idiocracy yet, you have to watch it. Idiocracy. Watch the movie. Fantastic.
Iranian people. Actually, their war was also against Iranian people. But for me, it's about the regime. And now here it's teetering. And now here we are. So that's why I would not vote for the Iranian powers resolution, because the president will need to have the flexibility for these kinds of targeted attacks.
Fair enough. Let's turn to the midterm elections for a second. This message the president delivered.
When it comes to the Iran thing, obviously, they're not going to trust any type of deal. Obviously, from the movement that's in the region, it doesn't matter what Iran does at this point. That's not going to stop what's about to happen. They should know that, because all of us know that. So, if boots on the ground loses everything for Trump, already he is. It seems like he's going along with what Israel wants him to do, and that doesn't bode very well for a large sect of his base. And so you have the anti-Israel portion of it that hates that, and you have the isolationists that hate that, and you have the America First people that hate that. So there's a large coalition of MAGA that is not cool with what they see. That is definitely going to happen sometime soon. Obviously
very much aimed at that. Do you think it would be good for the country for Democrats to retake at least one chamber of Congress in the fall?
I want a Democrat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that it would be a good thing.
I think that is the question.
I mean, the House, you don't need to have a degree to know that, that's going to happen. I mean, that's not just, it's a fact. Just look at the history. The party in power, there's backlash, and now it's already, I think the margin's already just a couple seats already. So yeah, that'll flip. And now if the Senate might be in play, so and that means it. So for me, as someone the only one I think that's flipped a red seat for blue, and now that makes it even mathematically possible to regain the majority here in the Senate.
And you still fully intend to continue to be part of the Democratic Party no matter what?
We've talked about this.
I know we have.
It's just. It's like the numbers bear it out. I vote in the 90s% of that. I mean, you can look it up. It's a fact. I'm not changing the party, and I might clap for some things that I agree. But when you represent Pennsylvania, that's there. It's like, hey, we would all love like a blue state. Then you.
Well, thank you guys for joining me. We just watched Joe Biden like 20 years ago. I mean, this is wild. Like once you start diving into really listening to him on a live forum, some crazy shit, man. But yeah, I mean the Iran thing is going to be very interesting. Very interesting. The midterms are shaping up to be a disaster. But that's kind of normal. It'll be a lame duck the last 2 years, and maybe a couple of more executive orders. What I think is going to ultimately happen, this is my hope. My hope is that midterms come in, the House flips. That's not my hope, but it seems like the House is going to flip. And probably year 2 into 3, all of the economy stuff finally starts chugging along. Like I've said this before, the economy is a tanker in the middle of the ocean. First you got to spin it around, then the propeller starts going, and even as the propeller's going, you're still kind of like neutral. You're not moving forward. I think towards the midterms, it's going to start to move forward, but it's not going to be done quickly enough to get any traction and get any meaningful people elected that need to be elected. And then Democrats will take over the House. They'll probably start an impeachment process. It'll be messy. However, I think that the foundation will be in play and the economy will start to hum towards year 2 into 3. That's just what I think. I'm not an economist. You guys know that already. Thanks for joining me here. 6283 Talk is my channel on my X account. If you want to follow me there, please hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm John Soto. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.